Jay, congratulations on the series victory. The simple answer is you had 9 power play goals in this series to win it. Was that the difference, or what do you think was the difference between these two teams?
Great question. First off, I'm just going to congratulate the LA Kings on a great season, over 100 points. This playoff series was again a great playoff series, hard fought both ways. And I'd just like to congratulate them on a good year. They pushed us very hard. So to Rob Blake, Luc Robitaille, Todd McClellan, and their leadership group of Kopitar and Doughty and Deneau and those type of guys, congratulate them on a hard-fought series. Now, you asked about the power play. I thought both power plays were dynamite in the series. Both power plays found a way to impact each and every game. And, we scored 1 today, but we gave 1 up shorthanded, and they scored 2. My answer is both power plays were excellent in the series.
Jay, it was literally a bad break that gave up the fourth goal. I guess how does your team kind of recoup and recover from that, and your young goaltender recoup and recover from that, and be able to hold the Kings off and then go out and score the winning goal?
Yeah, I was proud of our team. We are sure of ourselves, and wholly sure of what our opportunity is before us here. And we have an understanding that it's not always going to be smooth sailing. It's okay. It's okay that there's some drama in the story. If you look at this series as a whole, we were 20 seconds away from winning game number 1. We were shorthanded. We gave 1 up. That was a game we felt we could win. We didn't let it beat us. We came out in game number 2 and won game number 2. We come down to LA and play a hard road game in game number 3, a game where we felt there was some adversity. Obviously there was the non-call of the stick in overtime. I really liked how our team responded to that one. We're down by 3 goals in game number 4. We responded. In tonight's game, I thought we controlled the first period. The other team found a way to score a couple on the power play. We responded right again to get the lead. You go into the third period, and then your goaltender's stick breaks, and you give up a shorthanded goal. The arena's rocking, and for us to find a way to get the win, I thought was important. I mean, this is one of the best defensive teams in the league that pushes you in certain ways. I was proud of our team. I was proud how our team altered our game in order to beat this team, in order to meet this challenge that's immediately before us. And as I said at the start with your question, the LA Kings are a worthy, formidable, tough out. I thought it was a heck of a series.
Jay, how did you reach your decision to put Connor and Leon together in Game 3, and how do you think that kind of changed the complexion of your lineup for the rest of the series?
Yeah, I think that's one of the tools in the coach's toolkit. There were times this year where they played together, times when they played apart. I've probably, out of all the coaches that have coached them, I've played them the least together. But I see why. When they do play together, it's magic. And, I just think the versatility of being able to move them around makes us a better team, a harder team to defend. And as I said, we were playing one of the best defensive teams in the league. So we had to do some things in order to beat this team, in order to meet this challenge. And I was proud of our group that we did some things that, showed some maturity. So I'm proud of them.
Jay, how important was it to close this out in 6? Beneficial.
Yeah, what I do think is that every game in the playoffs takes a toll, a physical, mental, and emotional toll. So by not extending the series, You build up a little rest time in between series. And, I think that benefits us. So taking care of business on the road to find a way to beat this team 3 games in a row, I think it was important for that very reason.
Jay, Connor, Leon, and Bouchard had unreal series for you, but it was a play of 2 fourth-liners tonight that came up with key goals. Just, can you talk about their play?
Our media's laughing back there because they would know that I don't call them fourth liners. I don't think that's an appropriate label for those 2 guys. Kyler Yamamoto finding that goal was huge. I feel good about them. I felt good about them playing against the top players of the other team. For Klim, first of all, he didn't play much in game number 4. But he found a way to score the winner in game number 2. He came up with some big goals here in game number 6. He's a big body that's tough to handle and complements his line mates. For Kyler Yamamoto, who hadn't scored in the series but was all over the chances, for his personal self-confidence, I think that's important that he got that goal. And that goal was a great goal, important for our team. When he walked into our dressing room, there was a real loud cheer because everyone cheers for him because he's a little engine that could. Play in the National Hockey League at his size without having an unbelievable amount of determination and will. So while it didn't go in the net for him early in the series, he stuck with it, and eventually he ended up scoring the series winner.
Jay, they say success is a great teacher, but adversity is a greater. Whenever your team faced adversity over the last 13 days, what did you learn most about your group?
Well, I think to discover is superior to being told. So sometimes you have to go through something like this in order to see what you're made of. I think the first round of the NHL playoffs is a unique experience. And as I said, I can't compliment the LA Kings enough because they played a hard series. They're a very unique team in the way they play the game. But we were prepared for it. We altered our game to try and meet this challenge. And in the end, we're moving on. So I'm proud of our group.
Yeah, Jay, you touched on this a little bit, but what made the Kings a different opponent this season versus last season? Obviously, it's the same context, but I imagine you felt it was a pretty different challenge.
Their team was different. Their goaltender was different. They traded for him. They brought in a top 4 D-men at the trade deadline in Gavrikov. Doughty was healthy. Arvidsson was healthy. Fiala was a free agent signing for them. So they had a different look than last year's team. But what I think makes them unique is the way they play the game. I think they're one of the best defensive teams in the league. And they do some unique things that not all teams do. We tried to, as we were heading down the stretch, make sure we were prepared to play this team. I'd have to look it up. We lost 2 games in overtime on power plays in overtime. But I think heading into the playoffs, our team was 14-0-1. We hadn't lost a game in regulation since the beginning of March. So our team is was trying to use the stretch run to prepare us for moments like this.
Jay, you just talked about some of the improvements and the changes in this Kings team, but you beat them in 1 fewer game than you did last year. Where were some of the improvements for your team that allowed that to happen?
Well, we're a different team as well. And, we have different personnel. We have a different goaltender. So we have a rookie goaltender that's come up and made the All-Star team this year. We traded for Matthias Ekholm at the trade deadline, traded for Nick Bjugstad at the trade deadline. So we've moved kind of some pieces around the chessboard a little bit. But where I think we're a different team is our understanding of what it takes. I think that's our You know, that's what separates us, is our focus and understanding. There's some scars from past experiences on our team. But that's how I think you learn and get better. And last year's run to the third round whet everybody's appetite for playing hockey in the month of June. So we've learned some lessons along the way too. We've improved as well. And saying that, we know we're going to have our hands full with a very good Vegas Golden Knights team. But we're going to enjoy tonight's series win right now, and tomorrow will be spent preparing for Vegas.
Jay, I think one of the things the Kings felt going into the series, they felt they had their depth scoring would help carry them if they were going to be successful.
Yep.
You guys had 11 players, I believe, that scored goals in the series.
Yeah.
Is that one of the things that's different about this team this year maybe than last year?
Sure, yeah. We're the highest scoring team in the league. So it was an interesting battle between one of the best defensive teams in the league and one of the highest scoring teams in the league. You know, we stuck with it. We're happy with our goals for, especially in the last 3 games. Part of that is because of depth scoring. We wanted to come at LA in waves and in certain ways. And I saw a very mature, professional Edmonton Oilers team do what it had to do in order to win. So I'm proud of our group.
You mentioned major adjustments. What major adjustments did you make to play the Kings?
Well, I'll let you go over the film if you want to do that, but I'm not going to give any secret sauce or you know, any insight into how we think as an organization or team. Those are trade secrets. But needless to say, we had to do some things in order to meet the challenge of the LA Kings. As I said, it was a huge challenge, a hard-fought series, and I'm just happy that we came out on top.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.